My name is Annabel Onyango. I'm a Nairobi-based fashion stylist with really a foundation in styling TV commercials, TVCs. I style music videos. I'm part of the styling team for South Soul. I've been doing this for 10 years, basically, in this country. And I recently had a baby about a year ago, which I think has been really the zenith of my life, really the peak. And I feel coming out of, having a baby, really guns blazing to do more, to do better. I have my store Republic, which I'm really keen on working harder on and really taking it out to the masses so everybody, people like you know about it so that we can really, promote made in Kenya lifestyle wear and apparel and really sort of get that messaging out to the Kenyan public so that they know that they can buy made in Kenya affordably and that there are a lot of Kenyan designers doing really amazing things out there. A fashion designer, which I am not, are people who come up with ideas and concepts to create products or clothes. So they go and they sketch ideas and then that becomes a product that you can then buy. I'm a fashion stylist, and the difference with that is I take those products and put them into a context that the customer can understand and therefore purchase. What I will do is I will go to different designers and source their products and then use them for commercials or use them for video shoots or you put them in stores or put them in a place where that product can then flourish or be bought or be sold or be consumed in some way. So I would say a fashion stylist is the middleman between the producer or the designer and the customer, the consumer. I'm constantly researching, I'm constantly finding out or understanding what people are doing internationally. What's Fashion Week putting out? What are the international designers doing? How does that trickle down to the high street or regular people? How does that translate to the African market? So these are all things that is a constant story that you're researching and researching and researching. And then when it comes to actually putting clothes on people, again, I think 10 years ago when I was a younger designer, it was really about doing the most, layering, mixed prints, a lot of accessories. But I think my own aesthetic has really evolved from that, where it's really, again, about wearable clothes, pairing it all away, being very minimalist, I think, letting the actual wardrobe speak for itself. I think a really talented stylist is one that can really let the clothes speak and not have to put everything on to say, yes, I've really styled the person. So I'm really about understyling rather than overstyling and really letting these products stand out and speak for themselves. Internationally, fashion stylists, everybody knows what a fashion stylist. They're key people in terms of the image industry. They're key people for artists and for film and media. So in the last couple of years, especially in the production sphere, people are now valuing that fashion styling is really, it's the image. It's pretty much the front of everything you're doing. And yeah, so now slowly by slowly, fashion stylists are being paid what they're worth. And there's more of a sense of professionalism, I would say, so that it's not just, kids coming out of school being like, I want to be a fashion stylist and doing whatever, but it's an industry that hones talent. I would say the industry has grown to a point where there are a certain number of individuals within the industry that are really professional, that know what they're doing, that international brands can come in and really pluck them and have them create looks that stand, within any international production. And I'm really proud of that. It's really cool. I mean, look at this. I mean, who wouldn't want an African, look at this. Look at that. That's so cool. So yeah, African print umbrellas by Tengevuli. I'll hand that to you. Here we have Ikweta sandals. These are all locally made. Really cool. I mean, look at this. You never think that this is a locally made product, but there you have it with the pom-pom. Super fashionable. I get a lot of mail from, I guess, budding fashion stylists, fashion creatives who write me and they're like, Annabel, what was your journey? Like, how did you get here? And I think the key word that I always tell them is just a lot of hard work. Like, I just hustled. And it's been a 10-year journey, and getting here has literally taken 10 years of extremely hard work. I started off really working at Capital FM. Chris Kirubi gave me my first job working at Capital FM as a fashion editor. And then from there I worked for True Love and Drum magazine. And then I started freelancing, and I think that's where my career really took off. I'm just working for myself, taking every job that I had the opportunity to work on, and really honing my craft and being a perfectionist and never wanting to let the client down, and really doing international research so I know exactly what's happening all over the world, and really being supportive of local industries and local designers, and yeah, just really plugging away at it. And that's how I rose through the ranks. And now, I mean, I would say that, you know, being known for what I do, and then having the store, and being really able to create my own opportunities is really the best part of it for me. Even the beginning times, you know, being able to work for brands, international brands, to be able to style internationally, so go to London, go to Joburg to style, go to Cape Town, style with some of the great industry greats. I remember doing a commercial for one of the directors, the guy who directed Single Ladies by Beyonce. I mean, that is an incredible opportunity to be able to learn from a director like that. A Czech director that I worked with who is world renowned, I'm not going to say his name, and being able to meet people along the way who really inspire you and motivate you to do better. You know, working in Accra, where the weather is completely different from here, and working in production in West Africa is like a whole other animal because the weather is just so crazy. But just seeing how people just, you know, you make the most of your situation and you do the best that you can do within a team of talent. It's really, to me, that's the best part. It's better than the money, like the learning. I remember a few years ago, I don't know if you know Africa's Next Top Model with Oluchi, you know, being able to judge on that panel, doing interviews for CNN, African Voices, being on Vogue.com most recently in a travel piece called The Cool Girl's Guide to Nairobi, where, you know, 10 fashion girls talk about what they love best about this city. And I love this city. I'm inspired by this city all the time. So what an honor to be picked and to be able to sort of speak my piece on an international stage. Peperuka for that casual, sort of casual tease with the Me I Love Nairobi. That's a classic one that everyone should have in their wardrobe. Me I Love Nairobi. Africa's Home, of course. Great slogan tees. And then if you follow me here, I'm currently wearing a designer called Itikadi, and this is his rack. And these beautiful scuba, of course I've styled mine as a dress, but you can style yours the way you want. You know, very sort of, look at that detailing, the ribbon detailing. This is all handmade, all hand painted detailing. And that is really the detailing of Made in Kenya. Like, designers really get in there and create quality products. I've always been super passionate, so I never really second guessed the industry that I was in. And you know, when you're making money and you're being successful, there's no reason to really second guess yourself if you're passionate about it. But I will say, after having a baby, I think having a baby really allowed me to step back from my career and step back from the industry and really reevaluate what it is that I found important about the industry. And I think what I was really awakened to is the fact that, you know, I think people often see fashion as being this very surface level, materialistic, shallow endeavor. But I think people have to see past that and see, you know, the families that the fashion industry supports, the designers, the talent that's there. People are making really beautiful products, supporting their families. People are using local materials, local talent. People are really growing an industry that can compete on an international stage, and I think that's really important. So I really have to remind myself about that all the time, that we're doing good work, I think, supporting Made in Kenya. I think it's really commendable, not just me, but the other people who stand with me supporting this local industry. You know, think about consuming products that are locally produced by local designers, local artisans, local creatives, local ideas, local concepts. It's important for our country. This is a designer called Kangaroo, and she makes, she's actually Japanese Kenyan, and she makes these beautiful graphic totes. TIA, this is Africa. Very cool. If you follow me this way, this is a designer called Mambo Pombo, doing great things in the industry, very wearable clothes. This is a poncho, part of her collection here at Republic. Icon. I particularly like this designer because she makes very, I would say she's one of our trendier designers. And I wore one of her pieces. I wore one of her pieces for my Vogue.com piece, and I really love this sort of pajama-inspired kimono. And what I really like about Icon is that on the rack, it doesn't scream made in Kenya because it's not necessarily African print. And that's what we need more of. Designers who create things that are just clothes, that don't necessarily say, oh, this is African. I would say, probably the PC answer to say would be that I like clothes, but the truth is that I like relationships. I love working with people who are passionate as I am about this, people who produce beautiful things, people who are professional. And so that to me is the best thing, is the relationships that I make with, the management of the mall. For example, we're at Westgate. I have a great relationship with the management of the mall, or I have a great relationship with our designers who are, they're not just designers, they're people with faces and personalities and talent. Working with my store staff. Who really are the workforce behind everything that I do. Like behind every personality, there's really the people behind them who make things happen. Working with my partner, Emma Caddy, on the store. Without her, this would not be a reality. So yeah, it's really the relationships of people you come across who are as passionate about what you do as what you all do together. That's my best thing about this work. A lot of you may recognize Pepperuka. They make these very cute slogan pillowcases and stickers and mugs and things. We have these beautiful cushions by a designer called Kangaroo again. And if you move, there's plateware, flatware, very graphic, very modern. Part of our accessories collection, we have brands like Hipato Unbranded and Embody Accessories. So me and my partner Emma started Republic, and it's spelled .ke, kind of in reference to this internet era. And what we were trying to do is really democratize fashion, made in Kenya fashion, where we wanted to make it really accessible to people like you and me. So the prices weren't crazy and people are like, oh, that's too expensive for me to afford. But they're really accessible products and clothes that are all made in Kenya by local producers at street level for you to be able to just walk into a mall and purchase. And that's really the basis of Republic. I mean, it's grown into something more than that, but that was really the basic idea. This is a designer called Urban Artifacts, and if you look at this jewelry, it's so beautifully crafted. It's really inspired by the beach. And I mean, look at these bangles, these square bangles with the brass detailing. I mean, Kenyans are always asking me, oh, why are things so expensive? I mean, look at the design on that. Look at the detailing. I mean, that is beautiful design. So that's Urban Artifacts. And here we have Poetic Trends, and it's very ethnic jewelry, all locally made. She makes these beautiful cuffs with the precious, semi-precious stones, so beautifully crafted. Poetic Trends. Republic is housed at Westgate Mall on the ground floor. And on August 25th, Westgate is holding an event called Art of Fashion. And what they're doing is doing a runway showcase of all their in-house brands, including Republic. So we'll have a showcase of our designers on the runway, and we invite the audience to come. It's a free show, it's a free event, 6 to 8 p.m., where you'll see sort of these local fashions on the runway, see how you can wear them. I mean, I've styled my James Itikadi sweatshirt the way, you know, this is my style, but you can wear it the way you want. You can wear it with pants, you can wear it the way you want, but it's to showcase, it's really to show people how these clothes look. I think people have this idea that made in Kenya is too crazy, or it doesn't really speak to their personal style. But what this showcase will show you is that actually made in Kenya is just wearable clothes that you would buy in any store. Maisha Concept, she's a Kenyan designer based in Hong Kong, and she makes these beautiful sort of prints, very seasonal. Every 6 months or so we have a new collection, very exciting designer. And then this is sort of our accessory section. We have bags, a designer called EO Africa. They make this very graphic pop art, very cool, very relevant. Here we have a designer called Zoe Savak. And Zoe, what she's done is she's reinterpreted the classic kiondo, and what she's done is she's added this beautiful patina with the pom-poms, and it's just a sort of a sexed up kiondo. I think it's a really cool brand. Working with designers, like I said, those relationships are really valuable to us because they're really the basis of the brand is these designers and their different products that they're offering to the Kenyan public to buy at an accessible price. So working with designers, seeing what their process is, seeing what their challenges are in terms of producing locally, seeing what their triumphs are in terms of being able to actually sell those products and creating things that Kenyans really respond to. That's a really great journey to be a part of. Obviously, we're subject to Kenya's economy. You know, sometimes things are great and sometimes they're not so great. But we're on this journey together, not just me, but all the other Made in Kenya retailers. And it's a journey, like I said, but it's a journey that I'm happy to be on. And you know, we're just waiting for this to blow up. We're waiting, and I think it's every year we're seeing Kenyans respond to it better and better. At the moment, we have over 30 designers that call Republic home, where you can buy their wares, whether it's clothes or homeware or lifestyle items, bags, jewelry. We have it all here at Republic. For example, I'm wearing an in-house designer called Itikadi Fashion House, by a designer called James Otieno. So we have a lot, and he's been with us for a few years, just like a lot of the designers. So we've been with these designers for a number of years. So we work with some of the best, actually. Your audience may have heard of some of them. Peperuka, who have that Me I Love Nairobi slogan. They make teas, they make lifestyle items. We have Tengevuli umbrellas, Kitenge umbrellas, very cool. We have Moran Apparel. They make Kitenge sneakers, really cool. Mambo Pambo, Kawira makes these beautiful waterfalls. We have Kangaroo. She's a Japanese Kenyan designer, and she makes these great totes and plates and other sort of homeware. We have Zoe Savak. She makes beautiful, she's reinterpreted the classic kiondo, and she's just made it more, I guess, have more international appeal. We have Ikweta. They make beautiful leather sandals, proper leather, made in Kenya. Yeah, so we have a host of designers here. A little something for everybody. We have quite a range so that, you know, you'll probably find your style somewhere. If you want a gift, great place to get a gift. So yeah, we try to really host a great number of brands, and you know, it changes every now and again. And it shows the diversity of what Kenya has to offer in terms of beautiful things. Well, my husband, Marek, is from the Czech Republic. He's European. So there's always this sort of push and pull of should we go to Europe and do what we do there, or should we stay in Kenya and keep hustling here? And I think we're always drawn back to Kenya because there's something special here in terms of opportunity. It feels like it's really a wide open space, and it's open for people to fill in the gaps. And I like that. I like that idea of, you know, this wild, wild west where so long as you work hard enough and you have enough passion that you can really make it. And so that's the magic of Kenya that keeps me here for now. And then of course there's my family, and of course I'm Kenyan, so of course I'm going to be here. But it's a good place to hustle, I feel. Like if you have it in you, you can make it here. Moving forward, I want to be a part of an industry that is substantial, something that means something, not something that's, you know, about partying or taking photos for the media or going to events and wearing stunning outfits. I think the industry is more about that. I think it's about catering to customers. It's about creating jobs. It's about creating a vibrant industry that can really compete on an international level. And I think that's the step I'm at now. And then in terms of Republic, I think Republic is definitely along those lines of making made in Kenya products that are accessible to people like you and I, regular people. And that's really the mission for now. I think for a long time, Kenyans and myself have struggled with this idea that nothing is locally designed that is actually wearable. You know, like you wake up in the morning for work and you pick something like a shirt or a skirt or whatever it is that's made in Kenya, but just normal clothes. And I think that's what the industry needs to work towards, is creating wearable clothing that you can literally wear on a daily basis. Menswear, you know, a man can wake up in the morning to work and wear a white collared shirt, a suit, shoes, you know, just basic clothing. That's what people wear. So I think the industry is slowly but surely moving in that direction. And I think that's what people need. People need regular clothes. And some of my favorite designers are actually on this continent. I would say Tongoro Studio out of Dakar is one of the ones that I'm really into right now. Andrea Iyama, who is a swimwear designer, really cool as well. So there's a lot of cool, interesting stuff from this continent that I really love. And then fashion styling, West African-based fashion stylist called Lejenke, who is now, I guess, in the States. He really broke out and works internationally, and he's a really great fashion designer from Africa. So yeah, I think for Africa, like everything is African now. Like Africa's blowing up. And I'm really inspired by African brands and African talent. I don't really have a formula to speak about. Everybody will find their own way to success, but hard work is really what will get you there every time. Being professional, being polite, valuing your relationships. That's more important than the clothes part. You are your own personal stylist. You know your style the best. So be true to yourself, I would say. Don't try to be like anybody else. And shop local. I think you'd be surprised how, I mean, African women look beautiful in African clothes, whether those African clothes are kitenge or not. And again, less is more. Don't do the most. Like, just keep it simple. Buy one beautiful statement piece and wear that. Buy one beautiful piece of jewelry for your neck or wristwear. Make that the focal statement and keep everything else neutral. Look in the mirror before you leave the house and take one thing off. You know, those are the universal laws that apply over and over, year after year, season after season. Don't be a fashion victim. You know, be true to your own personal style. Yeah, just be authentic and keep it simple.